What's up, everybody? Hope you're having an amazing day so far. I'm Phil, and today's video, we're going to check out the Marshall flagship amplifier, the JVM 410H. Let's roll the intro clip and then get into some riffing. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today's video. Highly appreciate it. Yeah, as you can see, I got myself a Marshall JVM. I just had to, because if you're a long-time viewer at my channel, then first off, thank you so much for watching. But then you also know that I have the Joe Satriani signature JVM over here. This is a long-time loaner of a good friend of mine. He wants to have his amp very soon back. That left a hole in my heart, and the only way to fill that in was for me to buy my own JVM. I went with the regular one because I did some research on, what tones I like and stuff like that. And the JVM seemed to be a pretty good match, and it really does fulfill its duty perfectly fine. I found one used not so far away from where I lived, and I snagged it, and it's basically mint condition, like I would say brand new condition. Never saw a stage, has no scratches whatsoever. So this is really, really awesome. So the JVM has 4 different channels. We got the clean, the crunch, OD1 and OD2 channel. Each channel has 3 different gain modes. So we got basically green, amber, and red is what they're called based on the color over here when you press the respective button. It has a lot of additional features like a built-in reverb, 2 different master potentiometers. It has like a resonance and presence, obviously, for the global negative feedback. You can turn on the FX loop, and stuff like the FX loop or the reverb or the master setting are being saved per mode. You can recall up to 6 different features per foot switch, and it has stuff like MIDI capabilities, emulated line out, parallel FX loop, and whatnot. So this is a very versatile amp, and given that this has been released in 2007, I think this was way ahead of its time. Let's talk about the single chain which we're running over here. Today I got my trusty 2.6A LN Solar guitar, which is loaded with the Lundgren Black Heaven pickups. Really awesome combination. That then goes over here into my pedal board, which consists of the following setup. I got a splitter over here at the first place. The splitter then splits and goes to the TC Electronic chorus and all of these boosts. All of them are currently disengaged, so we're basically running straight into the amplifier. The second split is going to the ISP Decimator G-String 2, which is in the loop. That way we got a key, like a key input gate in the FX loop. And in the FX loop, we also got the TC Electronic Nova repeater delay. The Marshall JVM then goes to the Marshall 4x12, which I got over here, the 1960 AV, loaded with G12 vintages, and that is currently recorded by an Shure SM57 and an SE Electronic V7X, which I blended perfectly in the mix and made sure that they're completely phased alike. I think that's all there is to say about the signal chain. Let's get into checking out the amplifier, and we're going to start with the clean channel. We're not going to live that long on the clean and the crunch channel because we are mostly interested in the OD channels, but I think it's still worth mentioning because we get a pretty decent clean over here. Let me play a little bit through the settings. We're currently set on everything at noon. Really nice clean tone, in my opinion. I like that a lot. What I like to do is to take out the mids a little bit because I think that the mids are a little bit annoying in this case. Bump the bass and then use the negative feedback in order to control top and low end. So something like that would be the case. Sounds already way more to my taste. Then I would go ahead and activate the delay, the reverb, and the chorus for some lush 80s tones. So really beautiful clean tones to be had in my opinion, but let's move on and go to the amber mode of the clean channel. Now, what you got to know about the clean channel is that the EQ section runs before the gain stage. So in case you would go now a little bit up with the gain, I have to substantially change the EQ because otherwise it's going to sound super muddy. Right now we're at low gain, so it sounds pretty much like the green one, a little bit duller, but nonetheless a regular clean one. But you know, I don't really care about that on this particular channel. So I'm gonna go ahead, take away the bass, crank the mid substantially, take the treble a little bit back, and then roll the gain up. Cool crunch tone, but you know, it's not super inspiring or anything. Let's go over to the red tone. And over here, I like to play, you know, stuff which I would pin to the mid 70s, later 70s, stuff like Heart Barracuda is a riff which I always like to play on this one. Or some classic Judas Priest stuff. I don't know how to play that riff, but you kind of get the idea on what's capable or what's possible with the clean tone. Let's move over to the crunch tone. The crunch tone, I must say, I'm a little bit disappointed with because on the Joe Satriani, I love that channel, but this one sounds completely different. We got everything now set to noon. Let's go back and set the presence and resonance also to noon. And yeah, just listen. So that's already, yeah, kind of a cool crunch tone. I can live with that one. So that's okay, that's cool. I would now go ahead straight into the amber mode. That's allegedly a JCM 800 type circuit and type of sound. I'm not sure if I can agree with that one. This is what it sounds. Let's go ahead and try out some boosts over here. Mainly the boosts which work very well with this amplifier are the Deadweld Audio Duality DX as well as the Fortin Tempest. Let's go with the Deadweld Audio one, the Duality DX on the Amber Crunch channel. It substantially tightens up, but we're not where I want to be, you know, like heavy metal wise. Let's go to the red channel. I could believe that this kind of gets us more towards that characteristic. It has a little bit too much boominess. Let me try to dial that out. Let's scoop the mids a little bit to get that a little bit sharper sounding. Now in the room, that sounds a lot punchier. I'm not sure how it translates into the microphone because this still is a little bit of a muddy channel. All right, nonetheless, usable tone, but doesn't really kill me. You know, let's go ahead to the OD1, which is very similar to the red mode of the crunch, but is a little bit tighter, which I like a lot. Let's go ahead and actually just dial in the EQ pretty similar, except for one thing. I want to have a little bit more bass response. And let's see. Let's hear what it sounds like. Now that already has this tight chugginess, I would say. Like the red channel is completely muffled on crunch, while the green still has a little bit tightness. And I could imagine if I now boost this with a duality DX, then we're getting a good sound. Let's try out a few different boosts. I'm going to skip the King in Yellow because it doesn't work that well with the JVM, in my opinion. Fort and Tempest does work really well. You can hear that sometimes the Fort and Tempest is on the brink of being too much for the amplifier to handle. So let's dial that level a little bit down. Really like that one. MXR M77. Yeah, also sounds okay. I like the Fort and Tempest more, but here's where it gets a little bit frustrating. Some boosts don't work well with the JVM. I got this isocellus over here. There's a TC preamp clone, which also has a 1433 and a 14 grind mode. Currently, the 1433 mode is engaged, and this woofs out sometimes, depending on what notes you're playing, and this is a real bummer. Listen for yourself. You hear that? It's like this weird pumping effect where the compression totally kicks in. Yeah, that makes this pedal unfortunately absolutely unusable with the JVM. So if you have a clean boost pedal, then consider that you might not be able to use it with this amplifier over here. But it is what it is. Let's move over to the Amber mode on OD1. To be honest, this mode doesn't need an overdrive, and in most cases, I don't use it with an overdrive. Hear for yourself. That sounds really good. I mean, we could go ahead and try out how the Fort and Tempest sounds. So take back a little bit of the gain, engage the Fort and Tempest. To be honest, I like it more without the Fort and Tempest and then pushing the gain a little bit. Sounds absolutely brutal and vicious. Let's move over to the OD1 on the red mode. Now this one has a lot of gain. Let's leave the gain where we had it before. You're going to hear for yourself that it's too much. We have to dial that back around 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, somewhere around the ballpark, and then we're in the golden zone. Awesome tone, man. I really like this tone. So let's go ahead and dial in something very extreme. So something like that. Yeah, so kind of the only usable setup, in my opinion, is kind of going this route over here, like I had it before. So there we go. Let's go over to OD2, which is the final channel out of the 4. This one is very similar to OD1. It has a little bit of a different mid characteristic, has less low end, and a little bit more, gain, especially on the red mode. So first on the green mode, let's go ahead and set the gain to full. Yeah, so I'm not using it that much in that configuration. Let's go ahead and set the EQ to my preferred settings. And again, I'd go to Amber, where I live most of the time, but then you have to dial back the gain. And again, a sound which works very good on its own, no boost whatsoever needed. Nice sound. Let's go ahead to the final channel, and that is OD2 on the red channel. I got to dial back the gain a little bit, so here we go. Awesome, awesome, awesome. What else can I tell you about this amplifier? I really love this thing. It sounds so good. All right, I think we went now through all of the modes, and I've shown you a little bit around what this amp is capable of. Let's wrap this up. And there we have it. That is the Marshall JVM 410H. What do you thought about the tones which I got over here in this room? Do you agree with me on the situation with the boosts, that it doesn't work for every boost? Have you actually tried in JVM for yourself? Have you compared it to the Joe Satriani? That is something which I definitely want to do on the channel. So if you want to see that, then go ahead and please subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let us engage a little bit in the discussion. And yeah, thank you so much for your continued support, everybody. I am really, really happy that I could afford this amp, and that's also partially to you people out there who bought some Neural Amp Modeler or ToneX packs, so I'm forever grateful for you guys supporting me on that one. Thank you so much, everybody. See you in the next video. Until then, keep it metal.